Welcome back to the IBJJF Podcast. My guest today is Professor Andre Galvao. Andre is an IBJJF Hall of Famer. He's a 5-time world champion, and he's bringing a huge team from Atos to the 2023 Worlds. Thank you for joining me, Andre.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure as always. And thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Of course. It was really hard to narrow it down to who to talk about. You're bringing so many great athletes from black belt all the way down to the color belts. I thought we'd start with the middleweight division. You have 3 Atos athletes competing at middleweight. You got Tyron, you got Andy Murasaki, you got Rolando Sampson. Of course, Tyron has been the king of that division, but I want to get your take on the Atos athletes competing at middleweight and how you feel like that division could potentially play out.
Yes, definitely like that. It's a very good division, right? Weight division, middleweight. It was like my weight division when I started competing at Worlds as a black belt first year. And see like the domination of Kainan Duarte. Of course, like he's doing amazing, right? But we have like experienced athletes like Andy Murasaki, Rolando Sampson, and Tyron. Ty definitely is focused more on the no gi, and for the last couple weeks he started like training with the gi, and he really wants to do it, and he's ready. He's ready. His mind is super strong for that, and I think everybody wants to see that fight. I want to see all of them like competing against Tyron, of course, because Tyron is in a very good momentum of his career. Yeah. I could help you a little bit because we used to be close, right? We used to be united before, like Atos and the Art of Jiu-Jitsu Academy. But unfortunately, we don't belong to the same team anymore, right? So now fights like that happening, right? It's happening, and I'm happy for Tyron, definitely. But our boys here, they're coming. They're coming to put up the fight. They're coming to win, right? Andy Murasaki is ready. It's like he's up on weight, but he's ready. Ty is like Ty's Ty. He's definitely like incredible. And Rolando has an incredible jiu-jitsu. He already fought against Tyron, like he felt Tyron, right? Yeah. This year, from all of these guys, he's the only one that felt Tyron, and definitely like he's just coming back in the jiu-jitsu scenes after like a couple years not fighting. But Rolando is so talented, and I know like that'll be great fights, and I can't wait to see all of them competing against Tyron for sure.
You did mention that everyone wants to see Ty versus Tyron. I think that's a match people wanted to see for years. And Ty is going up to middleweight. Like you said, he was doing a lot of no-gi. But what do you think is different about Ty's game that could potentially present some problems to Tyron?
The first thing is the mindset. Of course, Tyron has a great, incredible mindset. But Ty is definitely, he loves what he's doing. Like I'm not saying that Tyron doesn't, but Ty is definitely like a showman, right? So he put up the show and he goes to submit. It doesn't stop until the end, and I don't think he's gonna be afraid to fight Tyron. I think he's gonna go after every single position. He's gonna be fight every single position, and I know that Tyron will do his best, to keep up with the fight. And Ty will keep fighting back, and it's going to be an incredible match. It's a great match. And I think Ty has an incredible balance. It's awesome, like to see how he displays jiu-jitsu, and he's very unpredictable. He's very unpredictable. The last time he fighting the gi was last Worlds, and now he's fighting again with the gi, which is this Worlds. Definitely like probably Tyron. And Professor Guilherme is studying, Ty's matches in the last Worlds, but definitely like Ty, he's incredible. I always say that the Rutolo twins, like they have a different type of jiu-jitsu, and they surprise everyone. They surprise, and the pace that they put in the fight, and the way they fight, and the incredible balance, and agility, and the smile on their face is what everyone wants to see. And I can't wait to see this match. Definitely is going to be very attractive. And I think this match will bring a lot of attention to the jiu-jitsu world.
Definitely. Let's move on to lightweight. We'll talk about JT Torres. He's a guy who was originally signed up for middle, moved down to lightweight, hasn't competed at the World since 2019, where he had some great matches with Hibamar and Isaac. Now he's back. Lightweight is always a super stacked division. We got Mateus
Yeah.
Gabriel, Lucas Valenti, so many other great competitors. Jonta Alves. I want to hear
Mhm.
your thoughts on how excited you are to watch JT back in the gi.
Man, JT, he's a incredible competitor. We all know that, and definitely the way he fights is a little bit different than all these guys. He's a lightweight that fights like a heavyweight. And I believe it's because he's like the oldest, let's say, guy in the black belt division right there. Not like in terms of age, but also like the system, the way he fights. He came from the old school jiu-jitsu, make all this transition to the new school jiu-jitsu, and I believe like the way he apply pressure, the way he plays guard, the way he set up his game is definitely very, very good for the lightweight division. And he has a lot of experience, lots of experience. Of course, like we have Mateus Gabriel and some other guys in the lightweight division that has already like a world title. But JT, he misses, like he's missing this title. That's the title in the black belt that he wants since he's a white belt, and I believe this is his year.
His game kind of reminds me of yours. He has really good takedowns, good top pressure, amazing back attacks. Was it really easy for you to connect with JT and to add to his game?
Yes, definitely, definitely in every single aspect. Even in the uh, like his personal, like his persona, his character, like we're very similar, we're very close, our personality is very similar, and definitely that helps me as a coach for sure. And I told him, man, just do your best. I'll be there until the end, and we're gonna get this.
Let's talk about Kainan Duarte. He competed at the Europeans. He had 7 fights, 7 submissions in Paris, France. I think that was Kainan's, in my opinion, that was probably his best performance ever. Looked absolutely unstoppable. No one could really do much on him. So I want to hear your take on Kainan at super heavy. It's a new division for him this year. Of course, I'm guessing he'll be in the open class as well. So if you want to touch on the open class.
Yes, definitely. Kind of, he wants to do the open for sure. That's the title he wants, right? And he's super well prepared, to achieve the world title, absolute division this year. I think the super heavyweight division is great for him. His game, his style is very good for the division. And before he used to drop some weight, he used to cut weight, And this time right now, he doesn't need to cut as much. He gained weight, he's a little bit above the division, but not like before. Before in the heavyweight division, he used to cut like 3-4 kilos, like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I think that probably masks a little bit uh, his performance, for open class. And this year being a heavier and also not getting, not needing to cut weight, I think will help him to get better there and stronger, in every single aspect, physically, spiritually, mentally, which is very important when you fight worlds. And I think kind of is ready for this title.
He has another world champion in his division at super heavy in Eric Muniz. I don't think they've fought at black belt. I could be wrong about that, but how do you feel about Eric's style and how do you feel it kind of matches up with him?
Yes, Eric is very strategic.
Yeah.
He has a lot of strategy. We know the way he plays. And I see kind of like applying good pressure on him and surprise him. And I think, of course, Eric, he is very smart. He's super smart.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. As a person, as an athlete, I have a lot of respect for him. His jiu-jitsu is incredible. But I think like Kaina's style is probably like a style that he doesn't like as much. He is a guy that plays a lot of lapel and all that. A lot of spider guard, more like guard game. And I think once Kaina conquer a good positioning, I think he's gonna do well against Eric.
I want to hear your thoughts on Louisa Montero. I think similar to Kainan, this has kind of been the best year of her career, even though she's been competing at the highest level for over a decade. She's won 3 major titles in 2023. She's beaten some of the best lightweights in those events. So, what are your thoughts on Louisa and just her past performances in 2023 and how you feel like she'll do at the Worlds?
Louisa has a lot of experience, at Worlds, and I think this is her year for sure because the performance that she had at the Europeans, Brazilian nationals, and also at Pans, like winning gold in all these three events. Definitely is giving her like a lot of confidence to get there and win the world title. And I'm pretty sure like she'll do it because, in my opinion, Louisa is super technical. I always tell that to her. I say, Louisa, if I was your size, if I was a female, you would kill me. You're incredible. Every time I roll with her, like I can tell, like I can feel like the technique. I can feel like the way she makes her grips, and everything she does, it has a purpose. And she's very steady. She knows like every single opponent that she'll fight, and probably like she already fought most of them because she fights everything. So that's a good thing of Louisa, compared with all the opponents that she has in the bracket. And definitely like there will be girls that she already defeat this year, and they are studying for sure, the matches and all that. But Louisa has a strong mind this year, and she passed through a lot of things last year. A lot of things she passed through, like fire, that last year. And this year, like, thank God, like she's doing well. She's doing great, mentally speaking, spiritually, and all that. And she has no injuries, like physically, she's ready. So I'm very happy for her, for all that she achieved this year already. And I can't wait to see her like conquer her world title because she deserves it.
She's done well in the open class before. I believe she has some open class titles at major tournaments. I know she's doing lightweight, so she's not in a very heavy division, but do you foresee Louisa potentially jumping into the open class?
We'll see, we'll see. Like it's all about like how she feels, and definitely like if she wants to do it, we will encourage her to do it. But also we have to respect the athlete, right? And if she feels like she doesn't want to do it, I'm not gonna force her to do it. And definitely like there'll be like some big girls right there for her to compete. And unfortunately, the open class division is before the weight division, and since like she also like cutting a little bit off weight, and I don't know like if she'll be like 100% ready to fight the open class. Only if she really wants to do it, then I'll encourage her to do it. I'll be there for her, but it's up to her. She has enough experience to decide. I'll let her decide it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gustavo Batista. He's another guy having an incredible year. Made his major championship debut at the Pans, won gold, had an awesome final with Jansen Gomez. Then at the Brasileiros, that was a different Gustavo Batista. He had 3 fights, 3 submissions, all chokes from the back. Got a chance to catch up with him a little bit, and he talked about how he really was interested in trying to get the back and finish all of his opponents from there with chokes, which was very cool, very different part of his game. Can you talk about his evolution and just how he was able to implement that in his last tournament?
Yes, definitely. Like the last 2 Grand Slam tournaments that he competed, he didn't compete in the Europeans, unfortunately, this year. And I believe like if he went there, like he would probably win the title at the Europeans as well. With all the respect to all competitors there, because definitely there's like tough opponents in this division. This division is super stacked as well. It's there's a lot of great guys, a lot of guys with a lot of experience. But Gustavo has an incredible game and mindset. It's really hard to defeat Batista, because his mindset is so strong. He doesn't stop until the end. He's amazing. He has amazing defense, great attacks as well. The way he passed the guard is just like wear down his opponent. Everybody like when they feel him the first time, they like, what the heck is that? Something different, right? It's very different and unique, definitely. And if you see at the Brasileiros, he was losing the first like 8 minutes of the fight, right? Like he was down, and then incredibly like he could like set like a nice sweep, and then end up like passing, and end up like getting the mount, the back of his opponent in less than a minute before the fight finished. He was like already like setting up the choke, and he went to submit it. And his mindset this year is going to submission. He wants to show that he's not only a point fighter, but he wants to chase submission. In the last Pans, he fought the finals against Jansen, and that was the only fight that he couldn't submit. And I can tell he was kind of like, he won. He was happy about it, but he was like, Professor, I would like to go for one more sub. I want to do all sub. And definitely like the way he's gonna fight is that, he's like that. He was gonna go and hunt for submission, no matter he's in front of him. and definitely is a guy that's ready for one more world title. He loves it.
Well, one of the best stories from the Brasileiros was Gustavo's results, and then also Lucas Pineros. They kind of had
Yeah,
the same thing. They both had 3 fights, 3 submissions from the back. Lucas had that incredible semifinal with Bebeto where he was in the triangle, got out, passed the guard, took the back, got the finish. And what really stood out to me about Lucas's game, he's always stood out as a great guard passer, but just the way he connected his guard passes to his back takes was
yeah,
really, really incredible. I know that was his first time at Rooster in a couple years too. Can you talk
sure.
about Lucas, how he's looked in the training room while he's dropping weight, and just what you expect from him at the
Yeah,
Worlds?
definitely. Lucas is used to that. He used to do diet and all that, cutting weight. Um, Last year he fought as a light feather, and I always tell him like, "Hey, rooster weights, you are unstoppable. Let's do it." It's a little bit more sacrificing, and
Hmm.
all that. But he's definitely like into that. Mentally, he's well prepared to pass through that because everybody knows it's not easy to cut that much weight. Lucas loses a lot of weight. But of course, he has a nutritionist, he has like his doctors and all that, and they help him with that. And we give all the support for him in our training. So when you say that you saw Lucas Pinheiro and Batista submitting all 3 opponents from the back, is the system that we use here in our academy. We understand that. We understand that uh, the opponents always expose their back. Once you start conquering a good positioning in the fight, and having a great back take is part of our system. And he looked sharp right there, right? He looked
Yeah,
sharp, and definitely Bebeto surprising with that triangle.
yeah.
But you have to be prepared right here, to support all that, and incredibly like defending, that, and he did really well. Um, Definitely like we coaching there helping him, and the support of the team and the crowd, the vibe and the Brasileiros helped a lot, right? It's a unique environment. It's different in Brazil, and definitely this is his year. He since he won World's No Gi, definitely like his confidence is super high and boosted. And he's ready for this world title, and we'll be there for him. We'll be there for him, and hopefully he can implement his game and go after each opponent fight by fight, winning all by submission. That's what we expect, right? Of course, there'll be it's worlds, right? Everybody fights different in that world. There's a lot of pressure and all that, but mentally, Lucas is it's ready to conquer it. And uh, we have like Talisson, we have other guys that
Hmm.
are super tough, very strategic, in terms of strategy and all that. And we are prepared for that. We've been training, we've been watching the fights, and we've been studying our opponents. And definitely, I want to see Lucas doing all 4 fights. I hope he has like 4 fights. And the type of game that he has for roosterweights, it's different, because he's a guy that feels really comfortable on top, and most of the
Hmm.
roosterweights they prefer to be on bottom. And Lucas don't really care to be top or bottom, and that's the benefit that he has in that weight division.
You talked a little bit about that system you guys have at Atos where you're taking the back a lot. It just kind of got me thinking about Lucas's passing style and Gustavo's passing style. They both use a ton of pressure on top. Do you feel like that style where they're putting a lot of pressure on their opponents is what's helping them get the back and having their partner expose the back and try to turn away to avoid the pass?
Yes, we always talk here at Atos, about that. When people come here to visit us, or when people start training with us, they all say like, "Man, it looks like I don't have guard." They feel like, "Man, it's so hard to play guard against these guys." And definitely the system that we use, like the pressure pass. We deal a lot with the lapel and lasso guard, which is like the guard that everybody makes, and plays most like in tournaments. Definitely like the system that we have, applying pressure, controlling the hips, knowing how to get a really positioning in the leg drag. I think that makes a huge difference for all of them to have a nice transition to the back as they pass the guard.
Another guy who brings a lot of pressure to all his matches, returning to the Worlds, Lucas Hulk Barbosa. I believe
Yeah,
his last Worlds was 2021. Took a little bit of a break. I know he was doing some MMA, opened an academy. But
yeah,
what do you think really ignited the fire in Lucas to step back into gi competition at the
yeah,
Worlds?
yeah. It's the hooky show. He always say
Yeah.
that. And Lucas is he's incredible. He's complete. You know, he can play judo. He can play guard. He can be on top. He can scramble. He has bolos. You know, he's very complete.
Yeah.
He's a well-rounded fighter. Definitely, this is a weight division that he didn't compete before, right? Lucas is going to the heavyweight division this year, right? Of course, in MMA, he cut weight and all that. You know, he could cut weight down to medium heavy, but he closed out 2 times with Batista. You know, and we talk about it. You know, and we decide to have Lucas in the heavyweight division. His game is good for the heavyweight division, and he's here with us for the past 6 7 weeks. You know, he did like a whole camp of 8 weeks with us, and he'll be ready for that. You know, he's living in Oregon. He has his own gym in Oregon right there, an Atos gym right there, affiliate, and he left his brother there taking care of the business, and he came here 8 weeks. Every single day he's there training. He also helped me during the camp. You know, throughout the camp when I was in Brazil, he was here helping all the athletes. You know, with the classes. Definitely, Lucas has a lot of experience. You know, already 2 world's finals, of course, like 2 times closing with Batista, and there'll be like some tough opponents, right, in that division, such as Adam Wazinski,
Yeah.
um,
Felipe
Felipe
Andrew.
you
Yeah.
know, that competes everything.
Mhm.
But Lucas is on fire. You know, he loves jiu-jitsu. He loves training. You know, he trains every single day, every single training session, and he deserves it. You know, I know it's hard when you open up a business. It's hard when you are making the transition to MMA and all that. But I told him, I say, Lucas, this is Worlds, man. This is the main event of the year. You have to come. You have to fight because later on you're gonna thank me. You know, and you're not gonna feel like, oh, I should like fight, you know, a couple more. So if you have the opportunity, you're healthy, do it. And he's healthy, and he had the opportunity, you know, to train in one of the best rooms in the world, you know, in jiu-jitsu. Why not, you know? So he's here, he's training, he's ready, he's prepared, and I can't wait to be there. Also, in the outside, you know, coaching Lucas, helping to win one more time.
You mentioned that he was covering classes when you were in Sao Paulo at the Brasileiros. Do you think being back in San Diego, being around all these other world champions training in the gi, do you think that was part of the motivation for him to jump back into it?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I told you, hey, you say, Professor, I want to go find worlds and all that. What do you think? You know, we talk a little bit. You say, man, I think you have to be here. If you want to fight worlds, you have to be here with us. You know. And Benny, today, man, I was in the room. I had goosebumps, and I'm having goosebumps right now. You know, I had goosebumps because, man, I felt the environment of the gym. You know, I felt the environment of those athletes. I felt the environment of the team. I felt, man, I'm feeling right now, and man, like they're working hard, man. And this year, I'm very positive about great results at Worlds. You know, I know all of them they do their best. You know, and having Lucas here definitely helps the environment because that guy, man, he has an incredible vibe. You know, he's so is amazing. We love Lucas. You know, the whole team, and definitely is gonna be. I believe like one of the best worlds for Team Atos for sure. I have no doubt of that. And the last world title we had was 2018, and I believe like Atos has a great chance to come back stronger than that year for sure. Like this year.
Yeah, it's amazing that you have so many world champions, so many people contending for world titles across so many weight divisions, all training in the same room. That's really an unbelievable thing.
Yeah, it's great. It's not only black belts, but also in the color belts.
Yeah, let's talk about the color belts and the juvenile team. Let's start with the juvenile team because they won the Brasileiros. You have your daughter Sarah Galvao competing. She's
Yeah.
obviously one of the best juvenile competitors we've seen in recent years. And I just want to get your take on that team and how you feel like the culture at Atos really helps cultivate their skills and their talent and abilities.
Yes, for sure, definitely. They're very united. I feel like our team is super united this year. Starting from the juvenile team all the way to black belts. We have a amazing environment as a team. And definitely like that require a lot of work. In terms of leadership. I'm
Yeah.
always talk with them. I'm always planting the seed and make them believe and have confidence in themselves. Confidence in our system and all that. They're training every single day, twice a day, three times a day. And, you reap what you sow. I always tell them they're putting up the work every single day. They're always together lifting weights. We always talking. The girls come here in our garage, like lift some weights and train, with Sarah. We have like five incredible girls that are fire, and not only the girls here, from Atos, right? We have guys, incredible juvenile team from Atos Atlanta as well, with Professor Bruno Frasato, which is an incredible coach as well. And
Yeah.
he's bringing a very good team, and juvenile team right here at Worlds. And we have some other guys from Almeida Jiu-Jitsu as well. They are incredible fighters, and we definitely have a very, very strong juvenile team. They already won. We already won, right, as a team, Europeans, Pans, and Brasileiros. And I believe like Atos can be a Grand Slam champion overall, team overall, juvenile. And definitely this is require a lot of work, right? We're putting a lot of effort, in our team, our future. Those girls are our future. We have some guys as well here. We have incredible guys fighting here too. Stefano, right? Cardozo. We have also Matias, and some other kids that are juvenile blue belt. And definitely like the culture that we have here in our room, the system that we apply, it's make them what they are today, and this is just the beginning from them. And seeing them competing the way I see is just like, most of them, the majority of them, they came from our kids program, right? I have them here like since they're like uh, white belts, like right since the beginning. Alexa, Jadea, Lily, Sarah, right? And uh, Emily is the only girl that came later on, right? All the other four girls, they came since our kids program. They are kids band champ as well, right? They have a lot of experience in tournament, and they love jiu-jitsu. They're there. They love what they do, and they are united to help the team as well, right? Many of them help us out, like instructioning, like the kids, program, and the kids like look up to them a lot, and this is great, because that's what we want. We want them to be role models on and off the mat for future generation, and they have a huge role, in incentivizing our kids to keep up, with the work, and all the kids they're seeing that, and I can't wait for the future. I can't wait for the future. Their future is bright.
That's so cool that you mentioned you've had most of these girls from the time they were kids, from the time they started training jujitsu. So
Yeah.
now it's like they've almost been training with you for a decade, reaching these high levels of technique. It's
Yeah.
going to be insane to watch them compete as adults and ascend through the belt ranks and get to black belt.
Yeah, definitely. I see them already. The way they fight, they're already like mini black belts. They're
Exactly.
already
Yeah.
great training for all the black belts here. They're incredible.
Let's talk about some of the colored belts. You got some amazing colored belts competing too. We got Samurai, a purple belt,
Yeah.
Nicholas McGlissick, who won double gold at the Pans. You got Rafael Silveira, who dropped down to middleweight, won gold at the Pans. Let me just hear your thoughts on some of the colored belts that you're excited to watch compete too.
Yeah, it's definitely like samurai. Like he loves competing worlds. He loves jujitsu. Of course, I always say that like my athletes love this, but everybody loves jujitsu, right? Who's there? But I'm close with them, and I see how much they love what they do. And samurai definitely has great skills since he's a green belt. When he started training with us, he was a green belt, and I was mentioning about him. Like I say, this guy's coming. He's good. And definitely like he's coming for the world title in his weight division and in the open class. But of course, we have to be focused on the weight division first. And if he feels great about like finding the open class, he'll be there for the team. And we have him and also some other purple belts. They are definitely like amazing. We have another guy that's medium heavy as well. Is Marlon. He's from Sweden. He's here. He's definitely very good, very strong, good pressure, very smart. He competes really well as well. So we definitely have a great team, in most of divisions in the purple belt division, right? And many of those athletes can conquer the world title. Samurai already won worlds, in the blue belt division. He already won Pans this year, right? He didn't fight Pans open class, but definitely like at worlds, he say he's willing to do the open class worlds. Some other color belts that we have, of course, Nico, in the brown belt division.
Hmm.
Nico looks amazing. He's definitely put up the work right here every single day. He's on the mat from like 7 a.m. all the way to like almost 11 a.m. Every day, every single day, he's working super hard on the mat. And man, it's incredible to see the way he's competing in the brown belt division, because you see that he's already in that transition from brown to black. I can see like on the way he plays the game, not losing much the positions, not losing much the positioning. Um, Listens a lot. He listens everything you say. He's incredible, very coachable, and his character too, man. He has a great a vibe. We love Nico. Everybody likes that guy. He's so funny, and definitely like his sense of humor makes him a great champ, because there's never bad days for that guy. He's always smiling, always happy, and always like put up the work and always sweating and doing his best in the training room. And definitely like he has a great chance to come up and win worlds again, like in his weight division and the open class division, as he did at Pens. Probably he's gonna fight Hiram, again,
Yeah.
which is another athlete that's on fire,
Hmm.
and definitely is gonna be a great match to watch in the color belt division. But also, we have like blue belts. There's some blue
Hmm.
belts here that, in the blue belt division, it's adult, especially adult. When someone do really well in the blue belt division, it's a very short career. They go blue, boom, they go purple.
Yeah.
And then they start like getting into like the jiu-jitsu world, right? But we have like some rooster weights, some like lightweights. We have like some heavyweights as well, doing super well, and then we can score some points in the blue belt as well. We have a great team. But we have some other guys too, like in the colored belt division that I forgot to mention. Another guy in the brown belt is Tateo, Mateus Menezes. He won Pans, in the ultra heavy division. He's very mobile. He's very different for the ultra heavy. He fights really well, and he's well prepared as well. He's definitely incredible, and he has a great chance to win his division and maybe fighting open class as well. And we have also Tenka. Tenka is
Hmm.
he's from the
Almeida.
Almeida. Yeah, he won Europeans this year. Brazilian Nationals. I don't remember. Like I think he won the Brazilian Nationals. Pans. He won Pans.
Yeah, one pan.
He
Really great
lost.
footlock.
Yeah, in the finals he got second place. Pans purple belt open class, but definitely like he's a heavyweight division, and he's really good. He's really good, and definitely like another guy that can give a lot of problems to the opponents and bring like a world title to the team.
Well, I think that was a great overview of all the Atos competitors competing at the Worlds. We're so excited to see you and to see all your athletes competing there on the biggest stage in the world. Do you have anything else you want to mention before we wrap up the podcast?
Yeah, of course. I just want to tell all my athletes, if there's someone that I didn't mention here, like it's just because there's a lot of people
Yeah.
we have, right? But all of you, you are ready. You're ready, and I'm there for you. We'll be there. Me and Angelica and the whole team will be there every single day for each one of you, supporting you, giving our best on and off the mat. Our media will be there to support you guys as well, like in terms of building up your image and your name. And definitely, like this is going to be a great worlds, great worlds for all of us, not only the team Atos, but also for the jiu-jitsu community, because I never see like stack brackets like that. Very interesting fights. That definitely will make that place like amazing. And I suggest every single one of you that never been at Worlds, but you live in California, you have to go. And if you are here in the United States or whatever area you are in this world, you should come to the pyramid, not just watching online, but also come here to feel the environment and to see like greatness, because all these guys, they are like training super hard. They're gonna look like superheroes right there. And definitely, if you're there, you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn in all aspects of fighting. And I can't wait to see like all the champions right there. I'm not talking about only our team. I'm talking about every single one that'll be there. Every single athlete. I wish them good luck. For everyone. I wish good luck to the organization as well, IBJJF. And I would like to congratulate IBJJF for everything that you guys do for the sport, together with you guys' medias, and all the channels that you guys use, such as FloGrappling and all that, to build up the name of this sport. And man, I just want to say thank you, because I saw everything since the beginning. I saw how it was, and the way it is right now, guys, it is super professional. I have nothing to complain. I know this is just the beginning, and pretty soon, like um, man, it's gonna be better and better and better. I only see improvement. I only see improvement. We all see that, right? But I'm in this sport for over 25 years, so I see many things happening. And I just would like to thank you guys, for everything you guys do, not only for the athletes, but also for the fans, of the art, and also overall, for everyone that loves jiu-jitsu. And first time in the history that we see people that appreciate jiu-jitsu, not only because they train jiu-jitsu, but also because they're a fan of jiu-jitsu. Nowadays we have people that don't train jiu-jitsu, but they follow jiu-jitsu. They know what is jiu-jitsu. And I just would like to thank you guys for that, and all the competitors, all the athletes who paved the path, like all the legends that of the sport, they'll be there. So incredibly uh, proud. I'm incredibly proud about everything that's happening in our sport. And if you guys need me for anything, I'm here to support and give you guys this help. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, we would like to thank you too for all the amazing matches over the years, for developing all these incredible athletes who you bring to the tournaments. So thank you again for your time today, Professor. If you guys want to watch the Worlds, you can watch it on FloGrappling. It starts on Thursday, June 1st, runs through Sunday, June 4th with the Black Belt Finals. And we hope to see you guys there in the pyramid as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys. Thank you.